Executive orders by Donald Trump as the 47th U.S. President. On January 20th, 2025, President Donald Trump signed a total of 26 executive orders immediately following his inauguration. New inaugurated U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a raft of executive orders within hours of returning to the White House as he reversed some of his predecessor Joe Biden's policies. Just as in previous mandate, Trump has signed significant number of documents with executive orders. Indeed, just as during his first term as the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump has signed a significant number of executive orders early in his new term as the 47th President. These orders reflect his signature approach of taking swift, decisive actions to implement his agenda and reverse policies he opposes. The new president told supporters at an inauguration parade event at a sports arena in Washington, D.C., that he would revoke 80 destructive and radical executive actions of the previous administration. From 26 executive orders, we selected and detailed about these orders. 1. Reinstatement of military personnel dismissed over COVID-19 vaccine refusal. 2. Deployment of troops to the U.S.-Mexico border. 3. Withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement. 4. Withdrawal from the World Health Organization, WHO. 5. Ending birthright citizenship. 6. Pardoning January 6th. Capitol riot participants. 7. Rescinding sanctions on Israeli settlements. Here's a more detailed breakdown of the executive orders signed by Donald Trump following his inauguration as the 47th President of the United States. 1. Reinstatement of military personnel dismissed over COVID-19 vaccine refusal. Details. This order directs the Department of Defense to reinstate military personnel who were discharged for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine. It also guarantees back pay and benefits for those affected, recognizing their service and addressing claims of unfair treatment. Implications. This decision has been hailed by supporters as a step toward restoring trust in the military. Critics, however, argue it undermines public health policies and military discipline. 2. Deployment of troops to the U.S.-Mexico border. Details. This executive order reactivates military deployments to the southern border to combat illegal immigration and criminal activity, including drug trafficking and human smuggling. It also designates Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, enabling stricter enforcement actions. Implications. This policy aligns with Trump's commitment to border security, but it faces criticism for its militarization of the border and potential diplomatic tensions with Mexico. 3. Withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement. Details. Reaffirming his administration's stance against global climate agreements, Trump signed an order to withdraw the U.S. from the Paris Agreement, citing concerns over its economic impact and questioning the effectiveness of international climate commitments. Implications. Supporters argue this move reduces economic burdens on American industries, while critics warn it undermines global efforts to address climate change. 4. Withdrawal from the World Health Organization, WHO. Details. Trump renewed his criticism of the WHO, accusing it of inefficiency and bias, and signed an order to withdraw U.S. membership and funding. The order reallocates funds to domestic public health initiatives. Implications. This decision has reignited debates over global health leadership, with supporters viewing it as a stand against bureaucracy and critics warning of diminished U.S. influence in global health crises. 5. Ending birthright citizenship. Details. Trump signed an executive order aiming to restrict birthright citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants and non-permanent residents, claiming it aligns with the original intent of the 14th Amendment. Legal challenges. 18 states and various civil rights organizations have filed lawsuits challenging the order's constitutionality, arguing it violates the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. Implications. The move has sparked significant controversy, with supporters viewing it as a necessary measure to address immigration loopholes, while opponents decry it as discriminatory. 6. Pardoning January 6th. Capitol riot participants. Details. In a highly contentious move, Trump issued pardons for individuals convicted in connection to the January 6th Capitol riot. He justified this action as addressing what he called political persecution. Implications. This decision has drawn sharp criticism from political opponents, who argue it undermines accountability for the attack on democratic institutions. Supporters see it as rectifying perceived injustices in the legal process. 7. Rescinding sanctions on Israeli settlements. Details. Trump lifted U.S. sanctions on Israeli settlements in the West Bank, signaling strong support for Israeli policy in the region. This decision coincided with heightened military activity in the area. Implications. While the move has been praised by pro-Israel groups, it has drawn criticism for exacerbating tensions in the Middle East and undermining efforts toward a two-state solution. Trump's executive orders reflect a decisive and polarizing approach, appealing to his political base while challenging traditional norms in governance and diplomacy. They highlight a focus on sovereignty, economic independence, and cultural conservatism. The ultimate impact will depend on their implementation and reception, including potential legal challenges, public response, and the ability of these policies to address underlying issues without exacerbating divisions.